Today I want to talk to you about a phenomenon that's incredibly common. Guy comes into game, not very good with girls, but he loves women. He thinks they're beautiful. He just wants to get a girlfriend. And then he starts actually getting good with girls, and he starts to see what's involved. Starts to see girls lying, cheating, flaking. Like maybe he has like a couple girls cheat on him. Maybe he has a couple girls cheat with him. And suddenly he thinks, oh my God, how could I ever trust women? He starts to become jaded. And now he's going in, and instead of looking, the girl's so beautiful, he's, how do I avoid pain, those kind of things. And the funny thing is that can actually make his game worse, can also make it hard for him to have positive relationships. So what's the solution? Once you've seen all this stuff, how can you possibly trust women? So on the question of can we trust women, I would ask maybe two better questions. One is, can we trust human beings in general, right, including men and women? And second is, can we trust women to do what? To do what? So I'll go to the second one first, which is, can you trust them to do what? So can you trust a horse to not kick you? Well, maybe if it's trained, maybe, maybe not. Can you trust a lion to not bite you? Maybe, maybe not. You can trust creatures, and human beings are creatures, to do what's in our nature. So you can trust a woman to not screw you over if it's within her nature not to. You can trust a woman to screw you over if it's in her nature to. And so what that means is that we're very much creatures of circumstance. We're very much creatures where there are times when I've been dating, for example, some of them was like scandalous, awful women, and they've been the nicest people in the world to me because they liked me, they loved me, they had an incentive to be that way. I've also dated some of like the sweetest, most angelic girls, and when we broke up, they became horrendous bitches to me because at that point, it was in their nature to be of that way, and maybe even in order to get closure, in order to move on, they needed to be that way, right? And so you can trust people to act in their nature. And so the first step to being able to trust women actually is understanding what is female nature, understanding what motivates them, what drives them, what their incentives are. And really when you are with girls, funny enough, when you're talking about like, can I trust them? And you get this hard-heartedness, what you actually need to do in a way is be more sensitive and understand where they're coming from, understand their motivation, understand their drives. And that's when you're gonna put them in a situation to do right by you very often and to do wrong by you less often. Now, that's still not foolproof. It's still not foolproof. It is still possible that you do everything right and, it just so happens that like a Hollywood actor takes a shine to your girl and she leaves for him because he's just fundamentally more valuable in terms of sexual value than you are, and he's probably gonna provide her a better life than you would, at least in terms of her priorities. That can possibly happen. However, the better you are about being a high value guy, the better you are about understanding what the girl wants, and the better you are about catering to those needs, the less likely that is to happen. And it's even possible, if you have a strong enough narrative and enough value, that even a guy with more value than you wouldn't be able to take her away because he doesn't have that narrative, he doesn't have that backstory and that history. And so you actually can protect yourself to an extent. The other thing you should do though, and this is a lesson from poker, they say trust everyone but cut the cards, right? Meaning trust everyone but make sure that nobody's cheating in the game, right? So at the same time as you should be doing all the right things to be high value and doing all the right things to give the girl what she needs and to play into female nature and make it a win for her to be with you, at the same time, you need to cover your bases. So for example, if you are maybe a very rich guy and you're getting married, I would suggest getting some kind of a premarital contract to protect yourself against certain eventualities. That's an example, right? Another thing would be, let's say that you're trying to get a girl pregnant, and you do get her pregnant, and the baby comes out and looks nothing like you. You might want to get a paternity test, right? So there are measures you can take to cut your losses, to cover your bases, those kinds of things, right? So what can you do? You can play the game the best you possibly can. And then you can also make sure that you have insurance policies in place. And again, that can be legal contracts, it can be information, it can be different things like that. But here's what I really want to get across, right? If you do take this to the extreme where you just distrust women, you say, fuck it, I'm not going to have a relationship with any women, you're going to live 80 years of your life without one of the most beautiful things you can possibly have. You're going to live 80 years, 100 years, however long you live, without companionship, without someone who's going to trust you and be by your side. Because yes, I've been in some relationships that where girls cheated on boyfriends with me, and I've seen that. I've even one time at least that I know of had a girl cheat on me when I was very early in my game. So I've been there. But that said, so I've had some pain, right? And I've seen some things that can make me jaded. But that said, I've also had the most amazing times in my life, have almost 100% of them included a woman in some way, included some woman who's there by your side, who loves you, who's caring for you, who has your back, who has a similar aim to yours, and you're driving the same direction. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. And to give that up because you're worried about a little pain here, a little pain there, is fundamentally stupid. It's fundamentally, truly the baby with the bathwater, and you would not want to do that. The other thing I do want to point out, though, is that it's not just women that can screw people over. It's men as well. It's human beings, right? So yes, I've been cheated on at least once by a woman. Yes, I've seen a lot of women, including married women, cheat on their boyfriends and husbands with me. So I know all that's possible. But that said, I've had worse things done to me by men. I've had, men screw me over in business in particular ways that are completely horrendous and illegal, right? Those kind of things have done more damage to me than any woman ever has. So it's not just women, it's people, right? It's any creature that has the capacity to hurt you. You have to treat it with caution, right? You have to treat, a poisonous snake with caution. You have to treat a male human being with caution. You have to treat a female human being with caution. You have to be smart about the way the world works. And, you understand that every single time you're interacting with something that's dangerous, you're taking a risk. However, things that are dangerous are also powerful. Right? So in the same way, just because men can screw you over, does that mean never go into business with men or never deal with men? No, same kind of thing, right? Having alliances, having partnerships, having trusting relationships with men and with women is one of the most beautiful, powerful things you can do. And if you want to be successful in life and have the life you want, you need to engage in those interactions. That said, you need to be smart about them. And again, that can be in the form of contracts. It should be in the form of understanding the other person, knowing what value you're bringing to the table, and being more valuable to them for them being loyal to you than to them being disloyal to you, right? So we'll use the business example again here. If you're so good for a business that it's to their benefit to keep you around, then it's to their benefit also not to screw you over. If you're so beneficial to a girl in terms of providing for her, in terms of kids, relationship, financial resources, whatever it may be, if you're so valuable that she would not be to her benefit to screw you over, then she'll probably be loyal to you. If you become kind of worthless or you're not giving the right sort of value to her that she wants, then it may be to her benefit to screw you over, and that's when you're gonna get screwed over, okay? So, can you be absolutely sure you can trust a woman? Probably never. But can you put the odds massively in your favor? Yes. Can you get it to a point where you can be reasonably certain that a girl will be faithful? Yes, you can under certain circumstances. And also, even if you can't be 100% sure, the risk is well worth it for the reward. So please, please, please don't be the person that gets so jaded or that gets so dark that you throw away some of the most beautiful things in the world just to prevent the potential pain that could come possibly in some scenario.